So I got to go through 5 Spielberg quotes and tell you what I think about them and what they mean. The first quote is, every time I go to a movie, it's magic, no matter what the movie is about. Now, I feel like that's an important quote because it explains to us that Spielberg has a love of cinema, which obviously you would know, but it just says that he likes all genres of film. He's not really biased, which I think is an important, it's an important thing to have, is basically the fact that he is unbiased. The second quote is a very inspirational quote of Spielberg. It is, "I dream for a living," which is basically amazing because it shows that he understands that he is a very lucky person to do this and it's his dream job and he couldn't be happier in doing this job. And it basically shows that he is very thankful for what he did. Okay, this is another great quote about Spielberg, from Spielberg himself. Also, if you're wondering how I'm getting all these quotes, I got a book about Steven Spielberg a while back. So another good quote from this is, "Once a month the sky falls on my head. I come to and I see another movie I want to make." Now what does that mean? Is a good question. Well, that is an interesting quote because it basically means that Steven Spielberg feels like he gets so much inspiration out of nowhere. So it basically means like he has these ideas just come to him every once in a while, which I think is pretty. It's a little big-headed, really, because it's like, oh, I'm so good, all these ideas just randomly come to me. But apart from that, it's very inspirational because it's like, if you just rely on the ideas you come up with, you can make these good movies. You see, this is another quote by Spielberg, so the fourth out of the 5 ones I'm going to do, which is, being a movie maker means you get to live many, many lifetimes. Now, I feel that's a very inspirational quote as well, because it's saying, even though he will die eventually, Steven Spielberg, his inspiration will live on. People will still be inspired by Jaws, E.T., Duel, Indiana Jones, etc. So yeah, that's a pretty groovy quote from Steven Spielberg. So, this is the final quote I'm going to do, because I think it's a really good one. That's why it's on the back of the book, because it's a really inspirational quote. Which is, I always like to think of the audience when I am directing, because I am the audience. And that, I think, could be analysed itself, and basically saying, why is that a cool quote? Well, it's a good quote for Spielberg, because he's saying that he doesn't view himself as some higher power. He doesn't view himself as, like, a very egotistical person. He still sees himself as a movie watcher, which means he's trying to make movies that he thinks he would enjoy. Which I think is a very, very cool thing, because he's basically saying that I'm not a sellout and I'm trying to make movies that I think an audience would enjoy. So yeah, they were just 5 quick quotes from Spielberg about Spielberg.